Welcome to Tarot Q&A Tuesday, live with you answering your questions. Many people have sent their questions in. We'll be addressing those today, getting the wisdom from the tarot. Did you know that the tarot is actually a portal into our subconscious mind? It's so good for working out what's stopping us from having what we want. You can ask, am I on path to headed towards my dreams, perhaps? If not, why not? You can ask the tarot, what's blocking you? And then what do? You do the work to unblock the energy. You see, not everything is destiny. We have so much free will choice in our life. And therefore, if we choose to consciously create a wonderful world that we want, then we have more joy, happiness, and success in our lives. But how to do that can be a little bit tricky, a winding journey of how to live your best life, you might say. Therefore, we welcome those that are already live, and we ask that you perhaps give us a thumbs up just to egg me on today, because after all, dare I confess, that's the first live YouTube yet. Woohoo! Now, you can ask me a question in the chat. I'll do my best to do both the reading of the existing questions and to grab a few new ones as well. So if you are new to Tarot Q&A Tuesday for next week, you can also email me at fiona@sirensoul.com before 4 o'clock each day, New Zealand time. That email is in the comments. All right, let's get into the questions. The first one we have is from Linda M, not to be confused with Linda L. Okay, she asks two questions actually. So what we'll do is we'll address one of them. She says, will love find me soon? Well, it's the greatest question of all, really, isn't it? Everybody wants to know when their soulmate will arrive, and if not, why not? So we're just going to tune into Linda's energy. Sometimes I do some random breathing as I shift into somebody else's zone. Bear with me. Haven't had a big night last night. Occasionally I do yawn within that shift. Be warned. Okay, Linda, want to tune in. What is going on with her love life? Will love find her soon? Will love find her soon? Linda, safe and appropriate to read for Linda. Well, she's kind of asked a yes-no question, which appears quite easy, but we usually really like to give you some advice about perhaps why it's taken so long. So what we have pulled here would appear to be, one would say, no, it's not looking like love is finding you soon. Love is everywhere though. So why are you not receiving it is the better question, because you can change the energy, Linda. You can change the energy. So we're going to give you a clue of where and what's happening about that energy, what you might be able to do to shift the vibration. Is there a reason that you are not drawing in the energy? Remembering that like attracts like. Hope you're loving yourself. It's always a good place to start, right? Maybe a little bit too focused on career, business, mission, and not so much about really enjoying what is in life. You know, when you stop and smell the roses and really feel into all of your five senses, like literally be present with the wonder of our earth, of planet Earth, we tend to have more joy in our heart naturally. It's a really easy way to raise our vibrations and get in the high vibe zone where so much more goodness attracts toward us easily. So I suggest really being appreciative and in your joy now, but more specifically getting in touch with everything by being in that moment of life, not the rush, not where you're headed, not focusing on making the money or the next sale, but instead allowing yourself to be in a space that you can be guided by your higher self, let's say. Do we have any questions yet? Any questions, guys, in the chat? Feel free. Thank you for the encouragement. Renee, am I with the right talent managers in LA for my career? Shall I stick with them? Thanks. All right, let's tune into that energy. Sounds good. Am I right with the right Am I with the right talent managers? Oh, it's really important. You've got the right people supporting you in life in general, whether it's work or play, right? So if it's not feeling right and they don't get you, it's not really conducive to that co-creating we're talking about, right? Okay, Renee. We see these managers, and are they the best option for Renee at this time? Ooh. Now I've got a bit of a tricky answer here because it's I'll tell you why, I'll show you. It's the death card, which implies new beginnings. It's the end of an era and start of a new one. It's also a yes card. So we'll pull another card to get more clarity because it feels like you'd be ending a relationship and starting a new one. However, it's also a yes card. Are you with the right agency? Renee. Oh, I feel it's actually okay. Yeah, I feel like this is a fresh start. Have it been very long since you've been with them? If it hasn't been very long, I would say carry on. Not being very long means a month-ish. I would say just give it time to grow. It'll start picking up. However, if it's been longer than that, I would take it as perhaps look at something that's more forward. Oh, okay. New beginnings, fresh start. Yeah. Okay. Is that correct action? New beginnings. Yes. We feel that. We feel new beginnings, and then you will be able to grow faster. The Eight of Wands is movement, it's travel, it's growth, it's power, it's sometimes moving overseas as well. But I guess that's you want one where the location that you're actually needing the work. So that makes sense to take a little look into how you can freshen up that creative energy. It's the creative energy that needs to be more, not so logistical about the work side of the way an agent might work. You know, you want someone who is more creative like you are, rather than doing business for business, if that makes sense. Someone who supports you in your growth, that kind of thing. That's what you're looking for, right? Okay, Naomi. I had a bit of a hiccup incident with a friend a few weeks ago. We have not had a chance to catch up since, although we have both tried. Has she let it go, or is she still a little bit pissed off? What was the deeper lesson? Okay, Naomi, we'll just get in the zone of Naomi's energy. Well, we've just had a card pulled out. We're going to go with that. It's the Star. I would say, look, good times ahead. Stay in your own good space and allow her to unravel herself in good time. It feels like the universe is on your side, supporting you by accidentally not allowing you to catch up. It's almost like you've been forced to let the dust settle. By the time you reconnect, you're both going to be high vibing, doing your own thing, living your best lives, and you can get on the phone and have a good natter about that. It feels like there's no big deal. It's just a glitch in the system. I feel there's nothing deep and meaningful to take away, except for the fact that you have done well with this, and you should pat yourself on the back, because this is the art of letting go rather than getting fixated on all life's little unimportant things. Don't sweat the small stuff. You know, sometimes we've got to realize that everybody's running their own game, right? They're on their own ride, and they've got their own stuff and their own perception, and we're never all going to be on the same page at once. And therefore, I just feel that it's a really little yet huge step to be able to go, oh, no one's perfect, and then jump back into the friendship. Sometimes you've got to set boundaries as well, but in this case, it just feels like little things happen, and to me, this relationship feels like sisterhood, which is that you're not sisters, yet you'd have these moments that you'd like to be in each other's life for a long time, and therefore sometimes you can allow people to not get things right, and maybe on a good day you suggest in more subtle ways what you might need from that person during those times of conflict, so that you're coming from a nice energy rather than a frustrated space. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cool. Any more questions? Come on, guys. You can ask them in the chat if I can work this. Yes. Let's move on to Jess's question. Jess, is it still correct action for me to move to London next year? If so, when my fixed job ends, my fixed term contract, should I look for a job for a few months in Wellington before going, or moving back home with my parents and look for a job at the Mount for a few months before going? Okay, so here's a few. What do you do? Well, I can feel the energy of this one already, but I'm going to just get a card before I put my 2 cents worth in. So let's see. Jessica. Okay, Jess. It's a correct action to still go overseas. It is so a correct action. There's just no way that it's not a good move. It feels like it's going to open you up to a whole lot of new things. It's going to feel very satisfying, very expansive of your own life experience. It's a definite yes to go. Now, regarding the job, and then we're going to jump back to Linda M for her second question, since we're answering 2 for Jess right this second. Regarding where do you get the job, there's a message around this that doesn't feel directly about the job, but we'll just see what the cards have to say first before my instinct kicks you into line. If you don't need to get a job, it would be good for you to allow yourself some more social time, some resetting time, time with old friends, and to have a little bit of time where you can travel around. But more importantly about this, depending how many months they are, you don't need to wait to go unless there's a reason that you are waiting. You can go earlier if need be. The thing about the job is wait till you get closer to the time and allow things to unfold. So just put it out there. If things produce leads, if you hear of something coming up, or you have an idea about a job you'd like to do that would just be for the interim, like something fun, not something that's related to serious career, then go with the flow. Some of this, what came through for me in the beginning was too much planning. So just being aware that take one step at a time along the path and allow it to unfold. We've got the tick. Yes, definitely go to London. It's going to be an amazing experience for you. And regarding the job, if you had to choose between Wellington or the Mount, wherever you feel you could be the most embodying of your connections, that can be what you're passionate about and the people in your life, family and friends. There might be a little bit of part-time relieving work you can do at your current job after your contract has ended, so it may be able to drag out slightly longer than you planned in the first place, and it won't have as much responsibility, and then you can catch up with your friends without such the stress of a normal day of work that are in Wellington before you leave to go overseas, and then head home to the Mount. No job there, a little bit of saying quality time and goodbyes to family. Whew. Few words too many there. Okay, what we always do in the tarot readings is the collective consciousness reading. So what we'll do is we're going to start with that now. This can be like a big reading or just one card. What we're going to do today is a past, present, future. 3 cards for everybody that is watching who has not asked a question, and those watching who even did ask a question. You get a double whammy today. So we're tuning into what everybody that happens to watch this episode needs to hear right now. And remember, guys, this is the big deal, me going live on YouTube. Would you give me a little bit of a thumbs up so that I know that you're there, please? Or maybe tell me in the comments what city you are from in the world. Because we do have a few people from out of New Zealand, where I am from. And by the way, for those who are fresh into the tarot Q&A scene, my name is Fiona. Fiona is my name. The message we need to hear today for the group who happens to watch: past, present, future. Past, present. Bear with me. Just tuning into these cards to get the best message that has the most relevant story to you. We're going to say it's for the next couple of weeks that you might need to consider this piece of advice. Okay, future. Future, when we say future, we're talking weeks, not years ahead. Although, okay, let's unravel the story. Group reading, just one version of the reading. 2 versions of the reading. 2 versions of the reading. Okay, 2 versions. 1. In the recent times, we have the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is a beautiful, empowered, independent, happy, and creative woman. She is living her best life. Now, this may be you, or it may be someone you know. For some people, this can be themselves getting excited, moving forward in life, and we're about to get to the next stage. For others, this can be a threat in their life. Maybe somebody with this nature is inhibiting their own flow. And for others, again, a third option is perhaps this is someone that you've met, perhaps a new interest in your life, or somebody who's helping you out. This woman is an empowered person with very vibrant energy, and someone you would like if you were feeling that energy yourself. Let's bear in mind that if you're not feeling it and you come across people that are, sometimes they can be intimidating, or they can reflect to you what you're not bringing out of yourself. So, something to be aware of. And the reason I'm looking at it like this is because what's happening at the moment is there is a situation where you've put a lot of energy into. Perhaps you were feeling amazing recently, and now you have put a lot of energy into something, but it took quite an effort. You achieved a certain amount of goodness. So, for example, if this is a new girlfriend that you've got, it was all great, but now it's getting a little bit hard work for the amount of results you're getting. Or perhaps you're in a job situation with this woman who is affecting your flow and work, and it's just making everything that much more stressful. So what do you do about any of these situations? So you've got this energy of this vibrant queen, and it's making your life now question the effort that is within your own mind, body, and soul. You're looking at this going, is it worth continuing down this path? Now we're going to come to the outcome. The answer is yes. And what is important to do is I'm just going to get another card actually, because this is just going to give you a little bit more information for how you can play that. Is it the card? Okay, the card I had was a 3 of Cups. Now, this is a time of celebration, of being social, of really connecting in often with other girlfriends, whether that's a male or a female, but in this case, it's feminine energy, it's creative energy. So what we're saying here is keep going. Keep going. There might just be something in your life that is proving to be a lot of effort for result. But you're coming up to a time that you will be celebrating, and when you get to the next phase of the next couple of weeks, you can up level and change the gear a bit. All right. So this might mean if you're in the relationship with a new woman, that perhaps you come out of the incubation time and start being more social with other people. If you're in an environment where the work situation, like there's an empowered woman that's threatening your position or making your job harder, simply come into your own fun activities. Find your reason to celebrate. Don't make it about somebody else affecting how you feel. And if it is simply that you are this beautiful, empowered goddess, and it can be a man who's particularly creative or in touch with his feminine side, and that's that kind of energy he's oozing. So it's not a boy or a girl, it's just the energy of masculine and feminine. If you are that person and you've just come into a time where you're working really hard and it's a lot and you're not getting much for it, but it's kind of enough, trust the process. This is worth the ride, and you're going to wrap this up in a couple of weeks with such reason to celebrate. And this is going to change the trajectory of that next part of your personal growth or your business or whatever that project is. It's pretty cool, guys. It's pretty cool. So all it's saying is right now there's a bit of stuck energy and life feels a bit more of a struggle. Hold tight, get through it. It's going to shift. Stay positive and make sure you celebrate your little wins along the way. Woo! What else have we got here, guys? Oh, Linda L just come in. Oh, I said Linda M. We're going to get back to her second question. Linda M. Can I expect a financial miracle anytime soon? Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's just get into the zone of Linda M again. Hey, have you turned up, Linda? I'm not sure if I can see you there. Love, money, it's all energy, isn't it? So if something's blocked, it's going to be interesting to see what this says. Is this Linda M, the best answer for her question? Well, we do have a yes card here, the Wheel of Fortune, Linda M. And on that note, did we not say that you're working a bit too much focus on the drive and motivation in your career? Well, that's obviously paying off. Maybe if you could put the same energy into your personal freedom. And what are you going to are you having a big sale soon? A big sale? Yeah, a big sale coming up within 6 weeks. Okay, so should be okay. Oh, hello, Linda. Thank you for saying hello. Yeah, well, we hope that this sale coming up where you feel a bit more abundant will in fact increase your energy. Oh, and it might, because when you're feeling passionate about life, you'll be surprised at what you match. That was the King of Wands. So just be mindful of how you feel inside, because drop any attitude and decide, right? I'm ready to connect with my ultimate passionate fun lover and get out of any thoughts that are holding you back. Linda says she was hoping a raffle ticket that gets drawn tomorrow. Yeah, no lotto was suggested, but then we did get the Wheel of Fortune, so I'd say you probably couldn't have got a better card in the deck. Yeah, no, it's sounding good. Just a little bit of a shift in your personal, just reminders of things that I believe you already know, coming into the energy, understanding the law of attraction. And can I talk to some of you who are not believing in the law of attraction so strongly at the moment? Because I thought about this the other day and I thought, nobody questions the law of gravity, do they? No one questions that. We know that, we believe it to be true, and it's because we experience it more real time. Obviously, we have our feet on the ground, but how about getting your head in the clouds at the same time as having your feet on the ground and dream big? Because when you can come into the feelings of those dreams, you'll be in the energy of the dream, the manifestation, and attract it back. And sometimes we really do need to prove it to ourselves that it works, but basically all you need to know is what you want and then feel into the energy of what that is by getting rid of the stuff that's blocking it from happening. She says like it's so easy. It's actually a lifelong a lifelong journey of work, but it is the human journey. Oh, and Linda's off to Australia in a week to have fun and catch up with friends. Well, it all sounds pretty perfectly lined up, if you ask me. Yeah. Yep. I like the sound of it. Just need a little reset. Perfect. Perfect. And don't we all? We easily get stuck in our ways, going around in circles. Not that that's what you're doing, but you know. Who do we have next? Michelle, a random card. She has requested a random card. We do the odd random card just to see what we want to hear right now. Can be quite helpful. If anyone wants a random card today, I can probably fit you in on the live. Michelle, is this card for Michelle? That card for Michelle. Oh, she'll love this. She will love it. Who wouldn't like to get the High Priestess card? Whilst the High Priestess is the intuitive goddess, she is the beautiful, divine, conscious energy in flow, meaning that this is a sign that you either are listening to your intuition and the signs and the feelings you're having are very real and take action on those inspired thoughts. However, it can also be a sign to encourage you to remember to follow your gut instinct, to listen to your heart. As I said to the girls last night in the Cosmic Consulting class, and there are guys on there as well, but we only had girls there turn up, that how does our heart align? What does it mean to be aligned with our heart? I said the heart is actually the conduit, because our soul doesn't speak to us in words, right? It speaks to us by lighting our heart up or hiding our heart or how our heart feels. And so our soul nudges our heart, and then our heart sends a message to the brain to alert the mind what to do. So it's very important that you feel into your heart, even just holding your heart, being aware of how you're feeling. So important. It's not bad to have bad feelings, but it's good to listen to the negative, bad feelings, or whatever you want to call them, because it's telling you to do something different to what is currently happening, because bad feelings, yucky vibes, low vibe emotions simply make our life feel less of a great experience. Everybody wants to be happy. If you don't, I would be super surprised. Super surprised. Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. There is a Linda here, a Linda L, who has a question. Are either of the units I am after actually going to pan out, 1 or 4? Didn't we ask this question the other week, Linda? We will ask it again. I'm going to pull 2 cards for Linda L. I'm loving the fact that you guys are all working together here, helping me out. Quite like this style. What do you think, guys? Should I stick with the live YouTube or go back to Zoom? Linda L, Unit 1. We'll get Unit 1. What is Unit 1 feeling like? 1, Unit 2. Oh, not 2, whatever number was. 4. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1, not 4. Take number 1. I mean, number 1 is more likely to come ahead of time. If you wanted to wait longer, you can wait longer. It's up to you. Come on, guys and girls. Please remember, don't like to be one of those people who asks for a thumbs up, but I'm asking for a thumbs up. And thank you to the few people that have donated me a bit of love by doing that already. I saw a conversation here, which is quite cute. Jessica says, this is so relevant in my life right now. The collective reading. Thank you. Love that. And then Linda L replied, agreeing that she felt the same. Did you? Oh my goodness. It's hard to keep up. Thank you for all the chat. It's great. It's great. All right. Any questions about the tarot? Guess what, guys? I'm going to be teaching an online tarot course in about 2 months. It'll be available. Sounds ages away, but it will fly around. So please do let me know if you're interested in taking part in that. It's for beginners, except for it has a lot of tarot wisdom in it as well. So sometimes a beginner doesn't study the same as another beginner. You know, I started with perhaps different ways of reading tarot in the beginning, and then I've grasped new aspects as I've become more and more intuitive along the way. All right, let's talk about Leah. As I get busy, I feel guilty and have less time for Lacey, her dog. Is she okay, or do I need to think about her being with a family? Leah. Hello, pretty P. Do you want to ask a question? Leah. Lacey. What's the story with Lacey? Is Lacey okay? Is Lacey okay? Lacey is totally fine. She is fine. She is good. However, there is a suggestion. I'm just going to double check. The idea of the doggy daycare kind of came up, but I don't feel it's an actual doggy daycare. I feel it's more of a home style version. Okay, so doggy daycare, home style. Or it could be either actually. Just feels like for the sake of yourself, because really the guilt is unnecessary. It is nice that you are considerate about your dog. Is it more that you are concerned about her, or are you finding that the responsibility, have the option to have a dog sitter that loves dogs, that actually appreciates dogs, that maybe it could be part of one of those dog collectives that support our healing, like people borrow dogs for healing opportunities or for a company. Maybe it's worth looking into so that you can still have your freedom and Lacey can still have her fun, and you can still do your work and Lacey still gets the company. There you go. Thoughts? Sounds pretty good to me. Hello, Janet Jackson. Good to have you here. Let's see. Do you have any more questions coming up? Oh, by the way, guys, don't believe it was actually Janet Jackson, but there is a Janet Jackson. So just saying, famous already. Does anybody have any last requests? No Pixie Caramels available. Simply going through my list. Do we do Michelle? We did Michelle. Yes, we did Michelle. I think we're done. We are wrapping it up. Brenda. She's coming at the last second. We're going to pull you a card. One card for Brenda. What does Brenda need to hear today? Please tell me where you are from. Some of these new faces. It's so cool to have you here. Brenda needs to do some soul seeking. Now, an interesting card for you, Brenda, the Hermit. One would say you need to spend some time alone, which we would feel that you're already doing that. However, the difference is spending that time alone to reflect on the star that you are. This is the star inside the lantern that is our innate light. It is your shining heart. It is your unique gift that is what you are here to present to the world. I say to people, you're a star and the world needs your light. I gave my cosmic consulting class a lecture last night, as usual. No, I said it is actually your responsibility to live your best life. It is not your luxury. It is a responsibility that you are your best self, because that way you make the world a better place. I also said, who would you rather hang out with? Someone who was living their best life, or someone who was down in the dumps and felt they needed to people please everyone? I ask you that question and you can answer it for yourself. And on that note, I hope that you all aim to find that star within. We're going to love you and leave you for this beautiful Tarot Q&A Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know if you would like me to continue doing it live onto YouTube or whether you like the Zoom option best. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel because here we are offering a lot more than tarot. There are other snippets that I use. You can also check out more about the solar line therapy that helps you let go of subconscious limiting beliefs and create new life enhancing beliefs so that you can have more happiness and success. See you later, everyone. Bye.